Okay, let's go in the Goodwill and see if there's anything on the shelves that I could make over. Ooh, got some crazy hair here. So I am at Marshall's Goodwill, and I am going to go in and see if there's any items that I can make over. See if there's anything on the shelves. Who knows? Holy cow. It's a ton of salt cellars. Those would be great bases for bottle brush trees. Okay, now I did pick up 4 of those salt cellars. They were 2 for $3.29. So I tried to find the really, like the ones that had the most detail on it. Kind of hard to see. But I have these. These are those old-timey bottle brush trees. And look at y'all. Because I want to keep that red. But if any of you have those, you know this is what they do. So I'm like, oh my gosh, that would be perfect to glue these in because it would have a heavier base to keep them up. Though I have a little bit of fake snow cleaning to do on these. I mean, I'll do some, but we'll see how much I can get out. Fake snow was definitely a thing in those putz villages back in the day. So this is what I got off of 4 bottle brush trees. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we got those done. So I have one that lost its base, but I have its base. So that's a good thing. So I'm just going to start off by gluing that one together. Don't want a ton of glue piled on there. And then I'm just going to put a little dab of glue in there. Take one of the trees and then just kind of hold it in place. Oh, look at that, even though I thought I got all the, oh, that's cotton. Oh, it's going to be so much better already. Okay, I have yet to bring out any sparkle this season. So what I'm going to, oh my gosh, that cotton. As soon as you think you're done, you're not done. Okay, so I have some glitter glass. And then I'm just going to take some of the decoupage transfer gel. I don't know. I just thought it would be, I don't know, something sparkly. Sparkly. Not necessarily all on down the sides, but at least in the inside. I might need a spoon. That way putting a little bit of glitter on there is just going to make it look like it wasn't just, I just stuck it in here and glued it on in there. Which is what I did, but we don't want it to look like that. And there's just something about glitter. I like the way you can see that red through there. How about this little, not the books, this little picket fence basket. I just like the trees. So I do think this is very cute. It was probably some type of a planter, though it's not painted very well, but I don't want to have these pieces of roping on there. So we'll go ahead and get those cut off. The 429 tag off, and I thought I saw a made in China. So I do have a little rough texture, so I'm just going to go ahead and run the sander over it. I did find a dowel that would fit into these holes because they go all They go all the way through. So I'm just going to cut a couple pieces and then get them glued into place because, I mean, that's a pretty big hole. I just took them to the bandsaw and got some smaller pieces to be able to work with. Get some tight bond glue on those there. Squish them into that hole. It might take a little bit of help, a hammer, to get it all the way. I'm going to try not to get, I want to keep it kind of flush. Whew, I might be able to use the glue on the next one. You know, you can't get it to come out and then all of a sudden it does come out, right? Just using a Japanese saw to cut them flush. As much as I think it would be hours of enjoyment trying to paint all those features, because it does need to be wider and it didn't have enough coats of paint on it, you can see through it. I'm just going to spray it with some white spray paint. I think these are very cool trees. I love the little spots on them, though this part is not, it's not what I'm a fan of. Oh, do they unscrew? I wasn't sure how this all, like, how is that in there? I don't need it to be. Hey, hello. Got nice white picket fence now. I am probably going to do a little bit of distressing because that's just how I am. But, so our trees are going to go in here, I hope. And then I'm going to try to add a Mr. and Mrs. Claus in here. I would like to put them in here, but if I put them all the way and you don't even see their cuteness. So I'm going to fill it up with some floral foam. But I think I'm going to wrap the floral foam in some fake snow because it's got slats and you'd see it. But I'm not sure how many pieces will fit in here. It looks like I need 4 and a little bit. Now I've got to glue my floral foam together, kind of like building blocks here. I have some of the fake snow blanket. Cut enough off to cover it. Take some of those corners off. Kind of like upholstering here. So I don't want it to raise up too much on the bottom. I know the side cuts will make sense in a second. That way it just doesn't bunch up on us. Pull kind of tight. See, that way I don't have so much buildup on that side there. I got my little package now, and it's not too over. So I'm going to put some hot glue at the bottom. I didn't want to glue it from the sides because a lot of times that'll just go right through it. There, now I have a little platform that looks like snow. So my main thing is to have them in here first and then work, because I might have to cut down the trees. Oh, they're so cute. And they were on something, you can tell, because look at the shoe has been cut off something. Okay, I'm going to push that up as forward as I can get. I don't know why. I mean, the glasses are kind of fun, I guess. I think these were probably on that one platform. If you're a vintage Christmas junkie like I am, you know what platform I'm talking about. A plastic platform, and somebody didn't want them on the platform. But I thought with her pink apron, these would be so cute. But see how much taller they are, that we can cut into them and cut them down. It's not any big deal. I just, before I make the decision to cut them down, how tall, where they're going to go. So I'll stick those bolt cutters right in there. There. Okay. I'm going to fit that behind. I'm going to put some glue on. I'm going to talk nice to Mrs. and Mrs. Claus and have this one right behind them. That are like, no, we kind of liked each other. We've been together for a while. We've been together for a while. Oh, and now I have more room for more yummies. Yay! Oh, so cute. So cute. Okay, so now I have this little candy cane garland, which I thought would be perfect to kind of string on the fence. I think I'd like it to hang down a little. I'll take a little bit of glue there and there. So there's one in the middle. So I kind of have to just tuck the excess because cutting the candy canes off is not a good idea. I had to glue this back together. I didn't know they were all just going to, I had to restring all the way up to here, glue them little by little. Don't cut that. So it's just going to be some extra in the inside. That's how that's going to work. As I always say, everything's a trial and error. Okay. So I think since I have these sitting here, and I love the thought of balloons, how about she holds some balloons? And then I'll do one on the other side for Mr. Claus. So I'm going to see if I can tie a little bow, and then we'll have the little Merry Christmas. Oh, I don't know. It was kind of cute just like that. Oh. Okay. Well, I was just pulling it out, and then I thought, oh, that looks cute. I just wanted something to cover up. Oh, but I like it hanging down too. So we'll just have it covering up the little wires here and then trundling down a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tie a knot. And then I can just have that glued there. piece of wood I could remake into a sign. So it's just some wood. It's some broken down wood. That's okay. I'll just use it for my advantage, and somebody bedazzled it. So it's got a couple little, yeah, it just has a couple little rhinestones on it that will go ahead and looks like they're going to be easily removed. I could straighten that out. It just looks like you can tell it with some pallet wood. Those off. That's not a very secure hanging system there. It worked for whatever they had it for. I'll put a different one on. And then let me see if I can put a straight edge on here and see how little I have to take off. I got it somewhat straightened out. I'm not sure if my line's completely level, but hey, it's better than what it was. Now I'm just going to go ahead. It was left very raw, so I want to make sure that I get it smoothed down. I got it smoothed down. It wasn't coming off of my hand, so I don't think it's a chalk paint. So I think I should just be able to paint over the board, and I'm just going to do my classic white of a picket fence fusion. I like finding boards that are already put together, matching, sort of, to be able to do some kind of a signage. Kind of needed to go down in there a little bit because the blue's in there a little bit in between the slats of wood. Yeah, I think with the second coat it'll cover up real nice. 3 coats of paint to get it to completely cover. Now I'm going to sand it and distress it a little bit before attaching my stencil. So all I did was go measure out for that board, Christmas tree lot, the times that it's open. Just a simple font can be a statement piece. I think I printed out the exact same size of each slat, not to go over them too awful much. Does anybody else use tape to adhere their mat? I don't want to deal with the resticking of the Cricut mat. It works. I know there's processes you can do, but I don't want to really be bothered with it. Okay, I've got all my stencil on now. I'm going to go back through with just some of the same white paint that I painted earlier, the fusion, and kind of seal in those edges so hopefully it doesn't bleed under my stencil. So I'm going to start off with Fusion's Pressed Fern for the little tree. A red color, I'm going to be doing a Fort York red. And then this is just a makeup sponge that you get at the Dollar Tree store. Okay, let's see how my paint did. Not bad. A little off here and there, but looks like a homemade sign. Put some hangers on there. Simple eyelets. And some 17 gauge wire that goes all the way across, because then that's just easier to find that screw in the wall when you're trying to hang it. Bases. So 3 Hobby Lobby, $5.29 for the 3 of them. See, I knew it was Hobby Lobby because it has the tag on it still. Ooh. Can you take the tag off without taking the bottom off? That's a whole nother question. Almost. I'm just going to take a rag, wipe anything off, because I am going to not leave these black. I'm going to paint them because I'd like to put a tree in it. You guys knew I was getting in position to spray paint them because that's the easiest way, especially when it comes to metal. So some more white because I like that winter white. Now the spray paint I use does not have a top coat in it, so I need to seal this paint in, and I'm just going to go in with some weather defense. So I have 3 white trees, though the base isn't really going to go in there. I'm going to have to glue them around the edges. See why I wanted to paint them. There's something about that winter white. Okay, just a little bit of glue. A little, yeah, you know, generous amount. And then I'm going to add some of this yummy ribbon. I love the glittery glistening it's got going on. And I love that it's wired. Oh, not too bad. Now I'm going to see if I can add these little, some are a little bit, I'm trying to match up with the glittery color of it. Oh, those have green stems. Those would show. I didn't want them to show. So picky that I am. See, I like that. So I'm going to twist that wire together. Attach that on underneath. Wrap it around. Oh, it can wrap around itself. That'll help keep it in place. You know, always have this idea, right? And then that one, I think I can glue on. I don't know. I didn't want to add green, but I do have a whole bunch of little snowflakes that I thought, oh, that might be cute added in there. Like layer a couple little snowflakes together. Or just leave it as is, right? Like, which way do we go? Because I'm gonna be, oh, I think the snowflakes. So now I think I like these as is, but I think it'd be fun to add some red bulbs inside. And since they have that long stem, to push into the bottle brush tree. Yeah, like that. A wooden plate. It reminds me of like a serving tray that they would have used like at a restaurant or something like that. Why it says Le Fleur number 52, I don't know, but it was at the thrift store, so it's fair game. I'm going to take that off. I am going to give it a light sanding because you can tell like how it was put together. It has like a little bit of dimples, grooves. I don't know if that's going to matter or not because I am going to paint this. I don't know. There was a little bit of sticky stuff on it. I don't know what that really was, but I don't really want to wet this really thin wood. So all I'm going to do is take some rubbing alcohol. And that'll get any sanding dust and any of the, whatever that residue that was a little bit on the sticky side off there. So I want to get a pretty clean paint job. So I think since I spray painted something else, I'm hoping that spray paint, like, you know, how that color might bleed through and make my paint orange. I'm hoping that it doesn't, but I'm going to use that same enamel spray paint. Graphics Fairy. Have you guys been on that site before? She always has some free clip art, and she just happens to have vintage Santas. So that is what I am going for. And this one I want to put in the center of that tray. I'm having a hard time, you know, loading here. I would love the candy cane one, but it's got a flat side. So I'm just going for this one because it's a whole image. Oh, hold on. I scrolled down to it and it is, oh, so let me see. Let me copy image. I'm going to go, I don't know if it just opens. Yes, it just opens. And then I'll go ahead and print this one and see which one works. I have a candy cane, the stripe fetish. So, okay, I know my office is a little dark, but this is a copy and paste into my Excel, and it's a little bit brighter. And then this one I printed right off the Graphics Fairy site, and I felt like it was a little bit on the dark side, and I definitely like my lighter one. And then I was able to make it a little bit bigger to fit. So just so you know, printed right from Graphics Fairy or downloaded and copy and pasted onto Excel. Okay, so I'm hoping, which one did I print? There we go. I printed out a couple. Though I'm going to back this with some copier paper because I'm hoping to make some kind of like some other detail than it just be white. So I'm going to, I think I probably should glue it together first. I feel like it'll be easier to cut out anyway, being a little bit thicker. Because I know if I paint some kind of stripes red or something behind it, it's not going to show up as much. It will show through actually, the white. Whether 3 will be too much, I don't know. We'll go ahead, give it a try. And then I'm going to start cutting out as close as I can get to the image through all 3 sheets of the paper. Okay, why this is it's still wet. I got cut out. I'm going to go ahead and try to get a whole bunch of the decoupage transfer gel on. And then put it on. Oh my god, that would be so cute. Like I said, I'm going to try to do a little something else, but I wanted to get my image on there. Just take the brayer and start, because it's a little thick, but no, I guess you're not going to see the paint underneath because I'm not going to be painting it. Either way, it has 3 layers on it and it's good. And he's got green eyes. All my other Santas either have black or they have blue. Okay. In my mind, for some reason, I thought I was painting underneath it, but I'm already getting my image on there, so it doesn't matter. Oh, he's so cute already. Okay. Now I just have to let it dry before I do anything else. Now I let this dry completely overnight so it's good and dry. So now I'm going to take some tape and I think I'm going to make some stripes because, you know, I love candy canes, and that'll just be a good background for the rest of this. And I think I'm actually going to use the 1/2 inch tape. So this is an inch tape and this is like, is it the 1/2 inch? 3/4? I'm not completely sure. So let's see, how do I want it to go the same direction? I don't know, because I'm not going to be able to match up that direction. It's like you have the plan now you have to come up with how to do it. That's how that works. Okay, so I'm just going to do the inner of the stripes. And not focus on the outer ring right now. So see, and then I will take that tape off. Except you do have to butt them right next to each other. The painter's tape is way more forgiving than the vinyl would be. Now for my color, I'm going to use DIY's clay-based paint in the Carnival Red because I think it'll be a little bit on the forgiving side if I touch something I don't want to touch. So I'm going to try to gingerly work around my paper. Okay, let's see what this looks like. My thought is the clay-based paint I could clean up if I needed to, which I probably do. But oh no, Santa. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not going to stress. I sealed it in first, but I did not. You know, part of crafting is a whole bunch of trial and error all the time. So I think I'm going to go back around with the red around this part, but I'm going to go in with a cloth and clean that up. So just those little areas that it bled under, I'm just taking a paintbrush and a little bit of water. That's the nice thing about DIY. That's why I chose the paint that I did. Okay, so I got my edges cleaned off as I can. So I'm going to take some of the Fusion's clear coat and seal Santa in, which I probably should have done before I started this whole thing, but it's okay. As I said, I don't mind the perfectly imperfect, so I want to do a spray on the other, but I needed to kind of work some of that back down. That's why I'm using, I could have sprayed the whole thing, but for right now, I'm just doing this. With some weather defense, now I'm going to go ahead, like if that would have butted up a little bit more, I wouldn't be painting the side, but it just looks like it's, kind of looks like it's unfinished, but I love the stripes. Oh, I love the stripes. So I take my brush here. Using my one with my angle. Okay, so I'm going to go through and clean up my line again. Now to bring the two elements together where this is raised and that is flat, the spray definitely made it redder. I am going to add a little bit of glitter. This is what sticks. Oh, yeah, that's it. It needed that finishing touch of that. That was a lot of fun to go into a Goodwill not knowing what you were going to find on the shelves and like, okay, I'm going to find something. I'm going to make it over for you all for Christmas. I really kind of struggled. I didn't know I was going to find anything or not, but sometimes you got to make a couple rounds there to see what, like you look and you think it's just going to jump out at you, but nope, I kind of had to look deep, and I love how every one of them turned out. The salt cellars, the tray is probably my favorite. That glitter just took it to the next level, and I always love making signs. And I think those bottle brush trees I put with Mr. and Mrs. Claus are, I think they were for Valentine's Day, but you know what? They're so super cute now. So thanks for watching. We will see you next time, you guys. Get in that stash, see what you can create. And it doesn't always have to be Christmas inspired. We're just in the season right now. So we will see you next time, and you can see what we're up to. Bye.